Yes.
Yes. The last one is gamification. What is gamification? Is it the same as game-based education, game-based learning? Anybody? Right. Gamification is different. Game-based education or game-based learning is something different. In game-based learning, they develop their own games or already existing games they are using for learning purpose. They will be playing the game. When they are doing the game, they will be learning the concepts. That is game-based learning. This gamification is something different. Gamification means applying the typical elements of game playing, the point scoring or competition with others, the rules of play, all those things that we are bringing into the non-game context, not necessarily for teaching. Okay, so the application or the set of activities or processes that depict the characteristics of game elements to solve their problems. Okay, to get more engagement, we can use this game design elements. And as I said, it is not only for teaching learning process, it is there for marketing. Okay, online marketing, any general marketing. And US Army is using military simulator, the gamification, as a tool for recruiting the soldiers for their army. Okay, and of course in health they are having that badges. If they do their routine what is that diet they are following or workouts they are doing it correctly, they are giving some levels. Okay, so that will encourage the person to do well when it is concerned about the health. In some gyms also you might have seen. Okay, and employee productivity of the employee. See, we are seeing in some shops or in some organizations also, they are having a badge, best employee of the month, right? We have seen, right? In the shops also, best supervisor, something like that. They are having a badge, and they have in the notice board also, this month he is the best engineer, he is the best supervisor, like that. Okay, so for employee productivity also, this gamification is used. In learning, what is the goal for this gamification? To get a good engagement and having the students' interest in the learning of the concepts what we are teaching. Okay, can you guess why we should adapt this gamification in education?
To motivate the students,
ma'am. Motivate the students, ma'am.
Motivate the students. Why? Why specifically gamification?
Because they are all more towards electronic gadgets.
Yes, whether it is good or not, whether we appreciate it or not, almost all the students are playing the games. Okay, so when we are not able to bring them to our track, we are going on their track and trying to impart knowledge. Somehow it is our responsibility to make the students understand. It is our responsibility. We have taken the oath. I will do justice to my profession. We have taken the oath. So if we are not able to catch the students, we have to go behind them, because they are used to play games. We are using the same things here, the badges for rewarding the badges for achieving some particular competencies or completing one particular task, one assignment they have completed. They are coming regularly to the class. For the fun of it, you can make use of this gamification. Of course, there are many game elements, the points or the achievement badges, which symbolize their merit. Okay, the levels are there, and progression bars they are marking in the progression bars certificates, and making the rewards of accomplishment visible to others. that will make other students to have a motivation to learn, right? Keeping the leaderboards, all those things will give encouragement or motivation to other students to compete with the others. Okay, and there is some psychology behind this gamification. This is working on the pleasure pain principle. Many of you will be knowing about this pleasure pain principle. For the happiness of something, we will do it. For the momentary happiness of something, we will do it. And to avoid the pain, we will not do certain things. Okay, so this is something, when we are giving a badge, the student is getting a momentary happiness. For getting that badge, he is doing that activity. You are giving an assignment, you say, I will give you this point for you, then at least to get the point, he will do the assignment. Pain, to avoid pain. So if you are not doing, you will be taking back one badge from him, or you will minus some points. So for avoiding that pain, he might do this. Okay, and it is a sense of achievement. It gives them some sort of achievement, goal driven approach, and it gives a healthy competitive behavior. But I personally feel this external motivations or extrinsic motivations to be avoided. Okay, when I talk to my friends or colleagues, when they say my child is not doing well and I offered him I will get a toy, at those times I used to advise them, don't give any tangible or external motivation for your child. Okay, that extrinsic motivation is having the potential to reduce the intrinsic motivation for learning. Okay, so that is something we should be careful. Okay, and I can tell you certain suggestions on the design points. If you say correct answer 2 points, attempting 1 point, so being on time to class 1 point, so you have to accumulate the points. Okay, points for the teachers if the student is not correct. Like this you can have something. And it is not that easy to bring this gamification into your classroom. Okay, it needs your time, energy to prepare yourself for this gamification concept in the class. Okay, so previously you have to, in advance, you have to work on it. How are you going to implement this gamification? And of course, doing it in the class, again, time consuming. We all have the time constraint. We have to complete the topics. So in that, this also will be taking more of our time. And of course, already we are having stretched workload. We are doing so many responsibilities. Along with all those responsibilities, we have to do this also. And this may reduce the seriousness of the classroom teaching environment. We all have made that teaching environment as a little serious one, right? So this gamification may reduce the seriousness in the class. Sometimes once the seriousness is going down, it may be difficult for you to build up that seriousness again. And one more point, it may not motivate every student at every point of time. So keeping all these things in mind, this external motivation, you have to have it to a limited number. Okay, so you can use it, but limit it. Okay, to limit it so that you are not deviating from your core of your job. Okay, this is about gamification. So totally we have seen all the 5 different strategies. There are so many. So I have taken these 5 strategies for you. We can, if we practice this, definitely we can have a very better good students attention, right? And apart from all these things, you can have time for humor, right? And this is something like walking on a sword. Okay, so if you give some lower level jokes in the class, then students will take you for granted and they will put hands on your shoulder, come sir, we will go for a tea. So you should be very careful when you are trying to make bring humor in your class. One way bringing humor will make students more attentive in the class, but be very choosy how we are going to do that. Okay, and this gamification, all these things we are doing because to go in the line of the students and make them learn whatever we wish to do. Okay, and of course I'm finishing it with the last slide. You know who is the teacher who will be liked by all the students? Any guess? The teacher who is liked by all the students. Just to think about you also, about this FDP. So in this FDP, you need not submit any assignment, right? Whether they have given any condition, no. Okay, so that, so you like this, right? So the one who gives a homework like this, weekend homework, just have fun. So once in a while, you should be friendly, and you should give way to the students to be happy. Okay, not all the time I teach, you listen, I say you listen, not that. Sometime you let the students have fun. Okay, but the proportion of time that you have to decide. Okay, and yeah, final word. You can see the Pearson learning sites. Okay, there are many sites which gives you the content and assessment digital services. You can see Pearson learning sites, pearson.com. If just type and see, there are n number of sites available. They provide educational resources to any learner. They give the content assessment digital service. And of course, YouTube videos are there. The Khan Academy are there. There are lots and lots of videos available. So slowly you introduce that flipped classroom and blended teaching into your teaching style, right? So you can ask them to watch one video and come. But you should watch the video before that, and you should write down the questions for discussion, right? So like that, you have n number of resources. Enormous resources are available in the net. You can just browse, you take something which is relevant to your topic. You can ask the students to watch it beforehand, so that with some prior knowledge, if they are coming into the classroom, they can be very attentive in the class. You can have a better students engagement if they knew something. Say if it is completely new one, they develop something like, even if I listen, I cannot understand. If they develop this thought, they will not listen in the class. Okay, so they should know something on the topic. Oh, it's terinja mari irukke, right? Then only they will give their attention to you. Okay, so you can try this blended teaching and flipped classroom with all the available materials, right? And understand that we are in the changing period of time. We are the change makers, I can say. Adapt to the situation. It is the requirement. If you are not adapting to the situation, you will be thrown away. Okay, it is the requirement. You have to adapt to the current situation and take the change in a positive direction. It is our responsibility. Being teachers, the teaching thing, the education sector is facing a tremendous transformation now. It is our responsibility to take the change in a positive direction. That's all from my side. And of course, summary. It's 12:30 now. So we have started with an introduction. What is digital transformation? Why it is needed in the educational sector? And we have identified the challenges as we lack in expertise, reluctance to adapt. Of course, we are lagging behind that comfortability and students' engagement. Among these four, we focused on students' engagement. I gave you 5 different strategies, very simple. First and foremost, one is understanding the types of learners or learning styles. effective lesson planning. That is, you should have a micro level lesson planning and dynamic lesson planning. Of course, your teaching should be activity-based teaching learning. Some activities I have just touched upon. You can browse the net and know in detail about those activities. And timely feedback, how it is related to students' engagement. We have seen what is gamification, and apart from this, I suggested you to have some humor, but you should be doubly cautious when you are bringing in humor into your class. Right? With a final word, we are the change makers. We are in the changing phase. It is our responsibility as teachers to take the change in the right direction. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.